Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the hashtag TFR
Motivation Monday
Zoom. We are super excited that you're here, and we have a jam-packed half hour for you. Let me tell you what's straight up.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into our special guests and the topics we want them to share with you tonight, we just want to bring you up to speed and kind of as we do every week, just tell you what the current status is, what the promotions are, what we're all gunning for here at LifeVantage, and then we're going to turn our special guest loose on you.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. So first of all, Dondi, Marcy, Nettles, we're super excited to be here with you guys tonight. And for those of you that are on here live, thank you so much for making this something that you hop on every single week. But if you are like we are most of the time, you want to go back and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, right? And so you can subscribe to Team Freedom Reigns on YouTube, and you will get notified every single time that we upload the new content every single week. Go do it as soon as the call's over, because we have got so much amazing things coming. First of all, I have to tell you, I think that this convention is going to be the best event LifeVantage has ever been part of. And part of that, I think, is going to be that it is going to be a huge family reunion, because we will all be in Las Vegas and we will not have seen each other for so long that it is going to be an event not to miss. So make sure that you go and get pre-registered as soon as possible. The event is October 22nd through 24th, Las Vegas, Nevada. And right now the pricing is $199. And there's a promo going on right now too. So make sure you check out the promos page on lifevantage.com or in your back office to help you earn points towards earning some really cool stuff at this event.
Absolutely. And every Saturday, the company has stepped in 3 Saturdays ago to do an 8-week run on Success Mastery every Saturday from 9 to 10:30, and that's Mountain Time?
That's Pacific, so it's
time.
10 to 11:30
yeah, so
Mountain
10 to
Time.
11:30 Mountain Time. We have unbelievable information, and this is a training to help us deeper understand what the amazing product line that we have. Dr. Dixon has just been showing up for the last 3 weeks, just blowing our minds in what we have here. And then we have some leaders in the field that are sharing their perspective and why now, why LifeVantage, why these products, why in this time when people are asking the questions, how can I get more healthy and how can I create an income stream from home? It's super important to put this in your calendar, plan on it, and share this with your influencers, the people on your team that want to make a difference, and you personally, you need to see this. It's unbelievable information.
And these are actually really great tools for prospects as well, for you to be able to show them what type of system we have in place for them to plug into. And if you did not see all of them, and I think we've actually had four of them
I think
now,
you're right.
You can actually go to the amazing monthly marketing playbook. And as soon as they are done and approved, then they are uploaded into the training section of the monthly marketing playbook. So go and check those things out, because if you've missed any of it, you've missed gold, okay? On the monthly marketing playbook, you're going to be able to see information about the product of the month, which is Physique, Prebiotic, and ProBio this month, blogs, social shareables, supporting the products of the month as well, podcasts, Facebook Lives, and the social media calendar, which if you struggle in knowing what to post on social media, this monthly calendar has it laid out so beautifully for you that you can actually follow it to a T and be fitting in with that 80-20 rule, 80% of your personal, who you are, and 20% throwing in, your business excitement and the products without using product names or the company name, right? So that attraction marketing there, definitely. So that is also on the monthly marketing playbook.
This week is going to be pretty amazing, because our personal sponsor, as you see there, Executive Master Pro 10, Blue Elam, is going to be sharing how to take control of your health and your wealth with this LifeVantage opportunity. And we have an incredible relationship with this man. He is responsible for us becoming involved in this company. And he's one of the top 3 positions in this entire company, not by accident. When you tune in to listen to his story tomorrow and how he presents the LifeVantage opportunity, you will be absolutely blown away that a man of this caliber, it can bring so much caliber and character to the information here that you're going to share with it. But make this a do not miss. Put this on your calendars and tell everybody about it, especially the prospects out there that you want the most in your business. This is the guy they need to hear from.
Yeah, and so hopefully you've either written down the Zoom link or check your email or several different Facebook pages, because all of the details are out there for you. Get inviting. Plus, we offer 3 live opportunity overviews every single week, always on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. The times are on here, as well as the Zoom link. This is the actual Zoom link. use this exact Zoom link and you do not need a password, okay? Because it's a webinar format. It's not a meeting, so you do not need a password. So please don't ask us for a password, but utilize this link, okay? Because we want you inviting to these weekly LVOs every single week, as well as I know many others that are available out there, including the corporate one.
Absolutely. So now we're going to bring you the buffet, and this is where you get to get the dessert before you dine on the main course. We're going to give you some amazing dessert tonight here with our two special guests, Shawn Brandt and Fred Duff. These are seasoned professionals. They've been in this industry for literally decades each. They've been around the environment. In other words, this is not their first rodeo. But they chose to be at LifeVantage for a very specific reason. And we asked them a series of questions about why LifeVantage, why now, and how this opportunity compares to others that they've been involved in, and why they're so excited, and actually how are they building their businesses in this very unique time that we all find ourselves in. But we are very honored that they would take time out of their day to share this information with all of you here at Team Freedom Reigns, and we are looking so forward to hearing from their experience and why they chose LifeVantage and a little bit about themselves. So we're going to introduce first and foremost Shawn Brandt. He's going to lead us off here and just bring his incredible wisdom. You see him there on your screen with his beautiful wife, Kyra. Love their story. We had some amazing time in Cancun to get closer and closer with them, to learn more about them. And we are just super excited for what he's going to bring with you tonight.
You just have to say something about that smile too.
Know, right?
He's got that smile that is going to draw you in. Okay. So be careful what he asks you to do, because you will do it. Promise. But we're super excited to hear, first of all, some of his history in this industry, this profession, as well as how he was contacted and joined our company, and all the other things that we've kind of asked him to share. So Shawn, we are so thankful. Could you please take it over? I'm going to stop sharing here so that everybody can see your awesome smile.
Absolutely. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Sound check.
You're good, brother.
All right. Wonderful. Yes. My name is Shawn Brandt, coming from the great state of Missouri, Kansas City to be exact. So my story with network marketing began actually a long time ago. I was actually raised in the industry. I was fortunate enough to have a mother that was always trying to get better, that knew that there was more out there in life. And so I was involved in personal development a lot earlier than most people. And so I was pretty much raised in the industry. But as far as the individual goes, my first company was way back in 1997, just to give you a little idea. And the network marketing, the whole industry was completely different way back in the day. We had cassette tapes that we handed out. It was kind of, don't make fun of me, Marcy, so it was a little different. So I basically just love the industry. I love associating with all the positivity and just everybody that's always trying to get better, everybody that's always trying to, take their business to the next level. And so with me, it was just a natural progression to go from where I was to eventually, it was just my destiny. I was eventually going to be in network marketing at some point in my life, and had a couple, not struggles, but I had a couple challenges with the whole landscape, and I had to figure out what the best way it was for us to adapt to go from the cassette tape to the CDs to the DVDs, and the whole entire landscaping has changed. I mean, back then we didn't have systems, there was literally nothing. So I think my biggest challenge in the industry was just being able to grow and continue to grow and adapt. Our industry is one of those industries that if you think you know it all, you just don't. You will never know it all. The people that you contact, the business is pretty much the same, but as far as contacting and inviting and sense of urgency and all that stuff, all the development that goes into that, I'm still learning every single day. See, I think I'm approaching 23 years of network marketing right now. And so, yeah, it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey for me. And I look forward to, the next 20 years, 30 years of being with a company that stands behind their reps and having a CEO that's second to none. So why LifeVantage? Why now? Well, I didn't actually find LifeVantage. LifeVantage actually found me. So I was contacted by a lovely lady that's on the team. And she looked at me and she said, Shawn, she said, we got on a Zoom and she said, Shawn, she said, I got some hair products that you need, and do you mind if I add you to a Facebook group? And I said, not at all, not at all. Show me what you got. And so that kind of started our journey, and it's been a lovely journey ever since. And so why now? Well, with me, it wasn't, when LifeVantage came into my life, I was at I've had a couple challenges. Don't really want to get into it on a personal level on the call, but I had a couple challenges, and my previous company had basically taken the entire industry for a ride, and it was a really challenging time. As a matter of fact, just shortly before joining LifeVantage, me and my wife sat down, and we had a pretty good organization before, and we sat down and we were like, do we really want to do this again? I mean, do we really want to, because when you build a business and you build it up to like an elite level, you work harder than you've ever worked in your life. I mean, this is not some, get rich quick. I'm just going to come in the first 90 days and make 10 grand a month. No, you work, and you work on yourself. You work on your leadership skills. You work on your contacting and inviting. You work on your database, and that is always evolving. That never changes. So for those people out there that think it's going to change, it doesn't change. Embrace it, love it. To be successful in this industry, you have to not only accept what you have to do to be successful, you have to be able to embrace that as well, because if you don't embrace it, you won't enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to take action and do it. And if you don't take action and do it, then you're eventually just going to get burnt out, and you're just going to be one of those people that say just network marketing doesn't work. And that's not the case. So, had a conversation with the wife, and we had a Zoom with you and Dondi, I believe. We had a Zoom with Chris and Sarah Smith, and really decided that you guys had put together a pretty good team of people, and just seemed to be just awesome individuals yourself, and was going the direction we were going. So we just decided to go ahead and jump in. And so before we actually made a commitment, though, I think that every leader probably has a checklist of, if you will, things that we have to ask just to make sure that we get a good warm and fuzzy, if you will. And poor Chris and Sarah Smith, I think I had them on the phone for like 3 hours grilling them, those poor people. So basically, we just wanted to make sure that everything was, that we were comfortable with where the company was headed. So my checkoff list is as follows. Basically, the company has to have a long-term growth plan, and they have to be able to go long-term, if you will. And so if they have that in place, being able to go long-term, that they're not going to be a here today, gone tomorrow company. It's not going to be like they're going to be flashing watches and a lifestyle and the bikinis and Lamborghinis, and 5 years later, they're, everybody's gone. So that was my number one checklist. My second caveat was the products had to be something that I could build a large customer base outside of the network marketing space. So many companies out there, especially wellness companies, they market to people that's inside the network marketing space. And that's okay. It's just, you're not going to be able to build a large organization if you can't market products outside the network marketing space. And so my third was the comp plan. The industry comp plans somewhere around 40%. So we had to be somewhere close to that. We're right at 48%. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed looking at a lucrative comp plan. But the most attractive part to me about the comp plan was it was so easy to understand just the first couple times you looked at it. It wasn't, you don't need a PhD to look at a comp plan. I've looked at some companies and some comp plans, man, that I mean, you had to have like a degree in accounting to figure out what was going on in that deal. And so I was just like, yeah. So the comp plan had to be understandable and lucrative. For me, number 4 was the training that the company provided the reps. It had to be able to produce a successful rep. So many companies in the industry just don't have anything in place as far as a system goes, as far as training goes. I mean, every company has events, every company has trainings, if you will, but they don't produce a successful rep. They leave it all to the leaders of that particular team or their upline to be able to make sure those people are successful. They put it all on you guys, and that's not fair. So that's not the way it works. So I wanted to make sure that the company's training, if I came in and knew absolutely nothing about network marketing, and I plugged them into the company training and I plugged them into everything that corporate was doing, it would produce a successful rep completely without me being in the picture. And I found that here at LifeVantage. And number 5 was the company had to be transparent. Without getting into previous companies and stuff like that, a privately held company, there's a lot of things that can be done behind the scenes, and they don't have to necessarily be transparent. So when you're in front of something like that, your company is only going to be as good as the CEO. And with me, being able to have the rug ripped out from underneath me in my previous company after we'd worked so hard, it was really, really nice that we're with a publicly traded company that, I mean, you know, we're regulated. There's no smoke and mirrors. Nobody's hiding anything, and you can ask anybody anything. You can get on, you know, the stock market. You can look at the ticker symbol. You can do all the research yourself if you want to figure out exactly how stable and how profitable LifeVantage actually is. So those were my 5 caveats. And yeah, it's just after going to a destination event that we went to, Kyra and I, where we actually got to have dinner with the wonderful Dondi and Marcy Nettles, and got to meet them a little bit more. And we got back and got to meet, I mean, so many people on the team. I can't even remember all the people that was there, but everybody that was on this call was there, except for the new people. And it just felt like home. You know, it just felt like a high school reunion. It felt like a family reunion. It just felt right for us. So yeah, it's the complete package. LifeVantage, in my opinion, is the leadership is second to none. The company and the CEO are second to none. And yeah, it's just nice that we have scientifically validated products that stand behind what we say they do. So absolutely. So I hope I answered your question, Marcy. I think I hit on all the points.
You know, there's one thing I want to ask you, you know, right now and how you're building your LifeVantage business, is it changing at all, or has it changed at all with the quarantine and stuff that's going on?
Oh, that's right.
Changed how you're building your business at all?
How am I building in this environment? Well, basically the only thing that has changed for me, being one of the old dogs, is I love going out, and I love building belly to belly, if you will. So I've had to step outside of my comfort zone a little bit. I've had to get a hold of Chelsea and Chris, and basically figure out how to, I mean, I've had Facebook, and I'm very literate with Facebook and social media. I just never really marketed that way. So I've had to step out of my comfort zone and learn how to market online a little more. But as far as how I'm building in the environment, is basically the same terminology, I'm coming to people with the same intent. And basically with me, it's all about education and understanding. So I want to just start conversations with people and see how people are, and love on people a little bit, follow up with them, let them know what's going on with me. it seems like if you always do that, you never run out of people to talk to, and you're not coming at people with commission breath, if you will. You know, a lot of people in network marketing, hey, Donnie, it's been a long time since I've talked to you. What are you doing? Oh yeah, well, I'm doing this thing now, and man, I'd really like to be my customer. And if I send you a video, would you watch it? I mean, they get right to the point, and that's what I call commission breath. You know, you just have to come at people with empathy and with heart, and let them really know you care. You really got to establish that connection, really make a connection. And you know, somebody in one of my previous companies, a really smart guy by the name of Darnell Self, he says, you know, nobody really cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah. And I just try to apply that every day while I'm prospecting. I try to apply that in my follow-ups. I basically leave it up to the customer to open up to me, to ask me what I'm doing. And in the whole meantime, I want to make a genuine connection with them. You know, like Eric says, we want to make a genuine connection. And more than that, we want to find creative ways to constantly stay in contact with these people and constantly build our database. And that's really all that I do. The only thing different that I'm doing is just the online social media.
Yeah.
Other than that, it still comes from here, you know?
Yes, yes. Well, and that's why you're such a rock star, right? Absolutely.
Thank
Such
you.
a rock star. So we appreciate you so much, Shawn. And yes, I second what Chelsea said in the comment section. Welcome home. We are so glad that you found your home here. And we look forward to the future with you and how you're going to be able to help guide others that have not had the experience that you have in this amazing, amazing profession. So thank you so much. Now I have one last question. This next guest that we have on here, how did you meet him and how did he come into your business?
Oh, yes, I would love to introduce him. Well, first off, I want to say, Dondi and Marcy, you know, I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate everything that you've done for me to help me build my business. Me and Fred Duff, I've known Fred Duff for quite a while. We lost contact for a while, and he actually, in my previous company, he actually was training one of the classes that I sat through when I was getting my group training. So he was one of the instructors there. He was just a massive presence in the field, and somebody that I definitely admire, and it's just an honor to have him on the team. And so, if it's okay with you, Dondi and Marcy, I would like to introduce you to one of the greatest men that I've known inside and outside of network marketing. He's just a phenomenal individual, and I look forward to working with him for many years to come. Mr. Fred Duff.
Oh, wow. My goodness. I'll mail you the check for that intro, brother. The check's in the mail. I love Shawn. I love Shawn. We go back a long time, and I'm very thankful that y'all would even ask me to be on this call. Soon you can hear me okay. And you know, this is an interesting time that we're all living in right now, and I think it's the greatest of times. Again, let me say, it may be difficult right now, but I still think it's one of the greatest times we've ever lived in. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but I'm not as sharp as Shawn. I can't remember all the questions. And if I did, I'm so dyslexic, I would read them backwards and jack up this whole program. So I'll let them ask it, and I'll just tell it from the heart. How's that work?
Beautiful. That's fantastic. Thank you, Fred. And we're just so blessed and honored that you would accept this invitation and share your decades worth of wisdom. And so to start for your portion off is just tell us a little about who you are and what your history in this amazing profession of network marketing has been like.
Well, first of all, I think this is the greatest industry in the world. I call this industry the even Steven industry. You can take a guy like you with a doctorate degree and me with no degree. Actually, I do have a degree. It's a PhD. I was born poor, hungry, and driven. So I do have some kind of degree. But with your great education and my lack of education, we fit in. Everybody fits in relationship marketing. All you got to do is just get in. That's the key to it. So I'm not a rocket scientist by any means. I'll probably butcher the English language before we get off of here pretty good, but that's all right. End of the day, they still spell million M-I-L-L-I-O-N the same way. That's what I do know. So I believe we're going to do in the Millionaires Club here. I've been very fortunate in my life. Came home basically in the 7th grade. I was a little town from in Virginia called Saltville, Virginia. That's where I grew up. And they got one stoplight there. Most people don't pay any mind to it. They think it's Christmas tree lights left over. And so it's just a homegrown Andy Mayberry kind of town. And it was a great place to come up as a kid, but life has its way of doing things. And my father and mother moved to a bigger city called Richmond, Virginia, where I spent most of my life. And about age, I think I was in the 7th grade coming home from school. My dad was a professional musician, and he was gone almost all the time. Didn't know where he was half the time. My mother made a decision. I'm not bashing my mom, but my mom abandoned me and my 2 sisters. Well, we became street kids. By the grace of God, somebody took mercy in me and let me become an apprentice boy, laying brick or carrying brick at that time. And he had a condition that if I'd go to trade school, my oldest sister forged the paperwork, and I went to trade school. And by the grace of God, I was able to make a handful of pennies and nickels and dimes, a little salary. We made it. God's been good to me. That's the reason I say I have no complaints. But I spent most of my life in a ditch laying brick. And about age 34, 35, I felt like an absolute failure as a husband. I felt like a failure as a father. I was working from 8 to faint, and I wasn't providing well. And I'd tried my hand at a few network marketing companies, the Great Amway Company. I got my first exposure there because I heard a cassette called "You Were Born to Win" from Zig Ziglar. We talked about this the other day. And that lured me into the network marketing industry. What I lacked was mentorship. I didn't have, even though they had the books and the tapes, they charged a fortune over there for them. It's not like you could run down to the store or go to Amazon and order anything. You had to buy them from the upline. It was the tape of the week, and it was gas money, and I had a hard time making those decisions. But I got my emotional or my professional education out of all that. And but I'm very thankful for the time in Amway. I'd never made any money, but I made relationships and I learned a lot. And then I joined a few companies, some of them that unfortunately I'm working hard, 8 to faint like a dog, man. And I'm tearing that thing up, nutrition products and you send all your orders. We didn't have anything. They had to mail the orders in and all that good stuff. And then you get a voucher in the mail. And I said, what's a voucher? So you call the home office and you wait. And what's a voucher? I said, I was looking for a check, but if the voucher, is that like a bonus? Oh no. We're out of money, so we're sending you a voucher for more product. I don't want more product. I want my check. And so I went through the ups and downs, but there was something about the industry, ladies and gentlemen, that flat out excited me. It made me feel, and it gave me hope. And that's all I was looking for. Again, I just believe this is the greatest industry of all time. It allows anybody, a dud from a stud like you, to come in and do something and find your place in this industry and change not only your personal life, but generations behind you. If you just stick and stay and get your pay, it will do it for you. So that's kind of the history of the industry. I've been in this industry, one company alone, 23 years. And so I'm not a jump around person. I made a decision to be there. I rode that thing. I still get paid quite well from them to this day. But I haven't talked to my downline there in 6 years, maybe 7. I don't mess with them. I leave that organization alone because I don't steal other people's sheep. And so I believe I can find, there's plenty of people out here in quiet desperation looking for a way out right now. And we have the answer. So there's plenty out there, but I still get paid. That was one company. And I've been fortunate enough to where other companies saw some value in me. And I've flown all over the country and trained in their company, even though I was never part of their downline in any way. So I've had a great run here. And but I was basically for the last about 6 years, almost zero doing nothing, writing books and speaking here in a few churches and that type of thing. But I was not engaged in the industry at all.
Wow.
So that being said, with that last 6 years of not really being engaged, but knowing what it had provided for you in the past and what the potential was, how did you find yourself here at LifeVantage, and how were you contacted?
Well, a good friend of mine who's in the insurance industry, I've owned a network marketing insurance agency before and did really well there. And our past met up there. And also we met in prepaid legal years ago along with Shawn. And he reached out to me. And actually, he took about 4 times for him to get me to pay attention. And his name is Daniel. Just love Daniel for inviting me to this. But he sent me, I'm going to be honest here. Is that okay to be straight and up? When he sent me the video on the Prime Time 2020, here's what I thought. I looked at it. I played it again. I looked around. I played it one more time. I looked about 4 times. Here's what I said to myself. God, I said, I believe Daniel doctored that video. I'm going to do my own research because nothing's that friggin' good. I'm embarrassed, but I'm telling you, it's just because it's knocked my socks off. I said, if it could do 1/10 of what they just said, this is a disruptor product. See, there's all kind of network marketing companies, you don't mind me saying. They got good nutrition, vitamin C in this, and the bark grows on the side of a tree, and the north side of the wind blows, and the monkey poops on it, we eat it, we drink it, woo, all that good stuff. But they're not disruptor products. They're not disruptors. They're far and few between. And should you ever live long enough to be the door opens to step into a disruptor, you better get in, because if it shuts, and they may not come around for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it is a rare occasion. And I saw this product as a disruptor, not a product, a disruptor. And so that kind of caught my attention, and then kept corresponding. Then I got to meet Marcy, and the home office decided I got to go kick the tires on this thing, and knew some people there already. And it was Kimberly. And if I can tell you what made the deal for me, if you want to know the truth, it was the fact when I showed up. Listen, I'm a full-grown adult. I'm 63 years old. I know how to catch a plane, show up at a hotel, get a cab, and ride over to the friggin' home office. I'm an adult. But when I got downstairs that morning, it was Chelsea, it was Shawn, it was Marcy, and it was Kimberly, all there to make me feel welcomed. And I'm telling you something, that was the tipping point for me. I went, these people are living the way this business really should be. And it caught my attention, and it magnified everything I was looking for 10 times easily, because when they talk about relationships, they didn't just talk about it, they lived it. And I've never done that. I've had fly-ins all over the country from different companies. And again, no one ever meets you at the door. And so you go in, hi, I'm here to see, who are you again? I'm Fred Duff, I'm here to see. So hold on for a minute, that kind of thing. But boy, was this different. Mm-hmm. And it caught my attention, mega time.
Wow.
Kind of sealed the deal for me is what it was. So I was in before I left, they didn't know it.
That speaks to something we hear all the time, that this is a relationship business. And we just hear, and this is Marcy and I's first rodeo, so we appreciate your experience. And we hear something like this is a relationship business, but it sounds pretty apparent that not every company that says that actually lives that.
Well, I can tell you that as good as and great as this industry is, unfortunately, there's snake oil everywhere. Smoke and mirrors and this and that, and broken promises and manipulation. I hate to say it because I don't want to dishearten anybody who's listening, but I'm telling you, this is genuine company here. This is the real deal. And thank God I had been part of a real deal before a hostile stock takeover took place, changed the whole face of the company, and I had to make a shift there. But I'm telling you, this is the genuine deal. There's companies that I heard Shawn talking about, the comp plan. The reason it's so layered and thick, they don't want you to understand it. A confused mind never makes any money anyway. All they want you to do is be in buying product, being engaged. And some point in time, the light bulbs go off. You go, I don't even know how we get paid here. Still don't know how we get paid here. Haven't got paid here. How long have I been doing this? 2 years. I ain't feeling any better. The products are just products. I could be buying this up at the Safeway store, and they're gone if they make it that long. And so the comp plan has to be basically a one-page comp plan for the average person, a guy like me, 7th grade education, who can look at it and go, got it. I think I can do that. I can do that. And so that was a major ingredient for me as well. That the smoke and mirrors had been removed and wasn't layer after layer after layer of comp plans. And it just doesn't work.
Absolutely. So in this climate, like Marcy was saying with Shawn, and where there's quarantines and lockdowns and uncertainties, how are you using your experience in this industry with the decades that you've been here? How are you changing your approach during these unique times?
Well, I must say it's been somewhat of an adjustment. I've got a good Facebook following. I guess I do. I don't know what good and bad is. I don't know what that number may be. I'm probably around 3,000 or something. And I've never promoted business in Facebook ever. I've never talked about my product or insurance. I have a business page for that, but I've never really done it. But I've found that now, especially with the quarantine, it goes back to the commercial, AT&T, reach out and touch somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe if you rely 100% on technology, you're going to miss a bunch. I'm a firm believer in high touch, which is picking up the phone and touching somebody. There's nothing like a voice coming through one end to the other. So when I ask you how you're doing, you can really hear how they're doing without what I'm doing. Oh, well, we're just doing great over here. No, they're not. They're suffering. It gives you a chance to reflect on what's going on and hopefully drop a ray of hope here. One of the tools that I've learned here, because I'm learning, I'm a student. I came here with full attention. Tell me what to do, coach, I'll do it. That's it. Even though I've got a lot of experience, I don't have a lot of experience here. And so Chelsea was sharing with me recently how she leaves a voice message, her and Kimberly both, and I went, oh my God, on Messenger, what a simple tool. So it's high tech with a high touch. And it's a great way to get a quick response. I did it to 3 people today and got responses from 3 people. Checking on you, man. Is everything okay? That's all I said. And they called, they sent back, and now we're in conversation, gauging back and forth. One of them will be on the Zoom tonight based on what they said, and says, I'm signing up in the morning no matter what. So we'll see. But it all came from leaving a voice message. So I don't invent anything. I'm not that smart, guys. I just find out what leaders do and I duplicate. If you two start walking with a limp, I'll walk with a limp, whether I need the limp or not. What are you doing? I'm doing the Darcy Donnie walk. That's what I'm doing. I'm just telling you, I'm the greatest duplicator of anything that works. Being real.
I love the simplicity in that. And with Chelsea and Kimberly as your leaders, you're doing that extremely well. It is very evident in the conversations that we have how great of a student you are. And the thing that I have to be completely transparent with you here, Fred, is that coming from my background and being a student until then you become the teacher, I love it when people can say, I will follow the best. You summed it up in a way that it was perfect. You said, I want to be the number one follower, or no, you said, I want to be number one at being number two to the number one. And,
that's right.
And you're focusing your efforts on being a student and following great leaders. And you've got wonderful leaders in Chelsea and Kimberly in that system. I just hats off to you, because you give a great example of the simplicity of when you follow great leadership, you have predictable results. And when you're a student and trying to put on a teacher hat too soon can be very detrimental in a business. And thank you for that wonderful example. And we are so blessed that you are finding LifeVantage to be your home. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely my, it's 63, it's my last run. And if I could say why, there's all the kind of the 4 or 5 major points why I joined the company. First was relationship number one. But obviously with the New York Stock Exchange, that just lit my fire because I came from one. I had a model that Paul Myers, some of y'all probably won't know, but Paul's probably been passed away 10, 15 years or longer, I don't know. Paul was a multi-billionaire in this industry, owned 21 international companies. 14 international companies, 21 total, including America. When he'd fly into Japan, you would have thought Madonna just landed. That's the kind of press time he got. And I was very fortunate to get some mentorship from him when I was young in this industry. And he was always talking about disruptors. He was always talking about clarity or being able to get behind the curtain like Wizard of Oz. That was his, you got to go back and see what the wizard's really doing. This company gave me that ability. So it was, number one is New York Stock Exchange company. That means you can't hide. If you're jacking it up and tearing it up, we're going to find out about it pretty quick. And so that was huge. The other one, I knew some of the core leaders at the home office from the reputation of the industry. So I said, whoa, these are not first time rodeo people. Well, let's try network marketing. I'm a great CEO of doing this. I ought to be able to do it good here. No, you can't. No, you can't. You just think you can. This is an animal that very few people can ride. And boy, do we have a core CEO and leadership with him that is unlike anything in industry. I'm telling you, if you had the time to search it out, folks, you're gonna look, that Fred Duff knows something about something. I know this. That leadership at that home office is like none ever before. And I don't think it goes back to the perfect storm. It goes back. This ain't gonna repeat itself, folks. the chances, I used to coach football. I don't know how I got to do that, but I did. High school was just dumb enough to let me coach, I guess, and give me a whistle and pay me some money. I don't know. And I used to tell my team at the beginning of the season, take a good look at one another. And they'd get all quiet and go, kind of looking. I said, because this team will never, ever appear on this field ever again. When this season's over with and I collect those jerseys, we'll depart. Oh, I'll see some of you again. But it'll never be like this ever again. Likewise, LifeVantage. This is a one-time event, folks, and I can't encourage you enough to maybe just throw in the gauntlet and go for it. And just be a gladiator and get in the ring and fight it out. Because I'm telling you, it'll be worth the battle. You will win. You're going to take some blows, though. Or you're going to be toe up and knocked down, toe up from the flow up sometimes. But you're just going to have to get over it and take it. You just got to. And you got to be like, pull the shield up one more time. And that's from all the negativity that you're going to catch. And folks out here who are new in this business, you're going to go through 3 or 4 phases. It's just going to happen. Phase number 1, opposed. What is that? Every family member and good friend will go, oh, that's cute. Are you sure you really want to do that? You've really thought about it? Well, yeah. And then when you get through that phase, then it comes radically opposed. They want to put you in a mental institution. They want to cut you off from friendship, and they turn the back at the lunch table at work. They think you've lost your friggin' mind. That's radically opposed. Wife ain't talking to you no more. She's rolling over the other side of the bed, or the vice versa. I'm telling the kids are mad because you've been out doing, you're always on the video doing something. They're going to be mad, radically opposed. And here's what comes if you'll pay the price to stay in the fight. Acceptance. Then here's what you hear. Oh, Dundee, I knew if anybody could do it, it was you. Oh, Marcy, I knew all along you were the stud end of all time. You could do it. I always believed in you. No, they didn't. They opposed you and radically opposed you. But you get to take the victory lap.
Yes.
So just stick and stay, get your pay, folks. I don't know. I'm sorry if I get too.
I gotta tell you, I could listen to you all night long. I could
sorry, I
just let
apologize.
you go and go. You are amazing,
Yes,
Fred. We
Fred.
are so
Your wisdom is
blessed.
just unbelievable.
Yeah, so blessed by you for sure.
Preach.
So, well, then I have to take an offering. It gets all complicated online.
Well, you guys are both just so amazing. We are so thankful and blessed to have you not just be part of the team, but to be part of our family, because we do truly feel that way about both of you and everybody else that is part of LifeVantage. It is a journey that we're on together. Not one of us is meant to walk the path alone. And if we can find people, that have the same like-minded and big heart spaces as we do, it just makes this thing so much better. So we are so blessed by both of you. Thank you, Shawn, and thank you, Fred, so much for sharing your hearts tonight with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, you blessed this is an instant classic. We record these for a reason, and this is one that's going to get a lot of replay usage. So thank you both so much for being the warriors that you are, bringing the wisdom that you do, and just being the team players exemplary, showing how to do this. So God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Yep. Now everybody get your butts to work, right?
That's right.
All kinds of LVOs to invite to, right? So take advantage of it, get people in front of the information, and don't be afraid to let them know that you've got something that could be a solution to a problem they're facing right now.
Absolutely. Thank you both. God bless.
Good night.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So welcome.